up, guys? How are we all doing? Welcome back to a brand new Batman Arkham Asylum video. We are, of course, celebrating the 100% completion of the Batman Arkham Asylum video game here on the channel, which also means that we will soon be beginning some coverage for a Batman Arkham City, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, ladies and gents, it is time to dive into some of the extras that we get to check out by getting to 100% completion. So first and foremost, what we're going to be checking out today is actually the character bios, because there are quite a few to cover. So we're going to look through all of them. I do want to point out something about the character bios that is really interesting, and that is the art style of the character bios. It kind of makes me wish that maybe we would get a Batman game with this art style, and you'll see what I mean in just a moment. Also, I want to go on ahead and encourage you guys to check out the other videos that we have going up for the 100% completion, like for example all the Arkham or Spirit of Arkham, Chronicles of Arkham tapes, which we will have a video for that. And then in addition to that, we'll have a video showcasing all the interview characters, so like Joker here, or maybe Killer Croc or Riddler, Poison Ivy, Zaz, and so on and so forth. So make sure you check those out. You can definitely get a lot more details about characters through those as well. So with that in mind, also down in the comment section below, let me know your favorite character design out of these character bios down in the comment section below once you've seen all of them. So without further ado, let's get rocking and let's get a rolling. So we kick things off with Batman himself looking super duper dynamic. I really do love that they almost made these character bios into essentially like trading cards, where if you look at it, you get the story, which is pretty cool. First of all, I guess if you didn't know much about the character, it's nice to have a little bit more context. But then in addition, you actually get kind of a statistics breakdown of all the details about the character. So for example, in this case, for Batman, it gives you the real name, occupation, base of operation, eye color, hair color, height, weight, and his very first appearance in the comics. And then we can take it even further into his attributes, which honestly, considering it's Batman, seem a little bit short as it is, because you'd think that that would go on for pages and pages and pages. So there we are. That was the Batman quick look there. We're going to go transition from Batman into his arch rival, and that would be the Joker himself. So as you can see, looking very, very stylish, the design here that we see for the Joker, whose real name is still unknown, which is very cool that they kept to that. Definitely neat to see that. We then see some of the attributes for Joker, which looks pretty cool as well, and the patient interviews, which again, if you want to listen to these, make sure you check out the interview tape video that we have going up. Now, with that in mind, let's transition to the next character, which would be Warden Sharp. Now, I should also clarify this. For the most part, it seems like they kind of approach the order in which you get character bios, for the most part, again, based on the character appearances. So as you transition through, you kind of get the different appearances of characters. Kind of. It's not perfect. Like, ideally, after Warden Sharp, it probably would be Frank Bowles, but then you would probably want to see the reveal of Commissioner Gordon, because you meet him relatively early on in the game. I guess you do meet Killer Croc as well, though. So, regardless, though, let's carry on and see what it says about Warden Sharp. So there's Quincy Sharp. You get his facts breakdown right there. And, oh, wow, interesting. His first appearance was in the Batman Arkham Asylum game, I guess? Wow. I thought he was a character that had existed before this. That's kind of interesting. I did not know that till right now. So the more you know. Then we have Frank Bowles here, who looks pretty cool. Kind of obviously the guard or head of operations, I guess, in... no, I guess he is just a guard, Arkham Asylum guard of Arkham Asylum itself. Arrogant belief that he's the best guard in Arkham Asylum. Look at that. And then from there, we transition to another very iconic Batman villain. This is Killer Croc himself. He obviously looks quite a bit different in the game. He doesn't wear the tank top or the hand wraps or the, I guess, just plain pants design. He has the Arkham outfit going on. Then you have a little bit of details about the actual character, and he's 11 feet tall. Holy moly. And then obviously some more details in terms of attributes, as well as his patient interviews. Then we have Harleen Quinzel herself, or Dr. Harleen Quinzel. Professional criminal is her occupation. Interesting. Then we have the attributes right there. And of course, the patient interviews. We have the Penguin next up. who is looking very stylish. He doesn't actually appear in the Arkham Asylum video game outside of posters, but obviously we will see his appearance down the line, and he does look quite a bit different than this art when we see him in the actual Arkham universe. He is Oswald Chesterfield Cobblepot. He's a restaurateur? Restaurator? Okay, I thought it would say like a person who owns restaurants, but okay. Yeah, aka racketeer, got it. That's a lot more clear, put it that way. And then you have some of his attributes right here, which looks pretty neat. I guess we should keep scrolling maybe down this line so we're not skipping through. Then we have Bruce Wayne himself, looking pretty awesome. There's his designs, and obviously it repeats a little bit from the Batman looks. And then you have the attributes here. Then we have Oracle herself, the daughter of Gotham City's police commissioner, James Gordon, Barbara Gordon. So that's very, very cool to see. I don't know what's that on her computer. It looks like an alien or something there. She's an information broker is her actual occupation. That's interesting. She has high level of hacking and computer skills, extensive headquarters in Gotham City's clock tower filled with information archives, which we will actually see play out in further Arkham games. So it is interesting how this game kind of planted a lot of the ideas that we would then see unfold in future Arkham video games. Well, here is Commissioner Gordon himself, James W. Gordon, I should say. He is obviously the police commissioner, and we have some more details here for him. He's an experienced police officer, an expert marksman, a trained criminologist, and proficient in hand-to-hand fighting techniques. Then we have Dr. Penelope Young, who is, of course, the creator of the Titan formula that Joker attempts to go on ahead and steal. And again, she's one of the characters that is exclusive to Arkham Asylum. So it is interesting how many different characters Arkham Asylum introduces into the Batman universe, and they were original creations. So that's definitely quite neat. Here we have the Riddler, aka the world's most annoying questionnaire. And he always obviously asks you a bunch of questions in regards to different challenges and riddles throughout the game, whether it be actual Riddler trophies or actual riddles where you have to figure out certain things and find a question mark that you're supposed to scan using your detective mode skills. He has got genius intellect as one of his attributes, which I guess is fitting. Compulsive need for attention, which kind of conflicts with the genius intellect component. And then he's driven by a need to test his wits against law enforcement by leaving clues to his planned crimes, aka leaving riddles around. And of course, we have some patient interviews for him as well. Here is Catwoman, who again doesn't appear in the game, just like Penguin, but obviously a very important character in the Batman universe. Here are some of her facts and attributes, so you can go on ahead and check that out. Then we have Bane, who looks absolutely ridiculously epic here. You have the facts right there. Wait, what? Bane doesn't have a name? That's interesting. I actually did not know that. And there's the Batman Vengeance of Bane first appearance, which was only in 1993. So Bane is one of the more recent Bat villains that we have gotten overall. So then we're going to scroll right back down to here, to Thomas and Martha Wayne, obviously a key component in the life of Bruce Wayne, and more importantly, their, how do we say it, tragedy, I guess. It's what really, in a large regard, spawns the creation of Batman. So obviously, that is very cool to see that they actually get to be character bios in the game. There's Alfred Pennyworth, who I don't believe, I'm trying to remember, he doesn't appear in the game, does he? He definitely makes appearances in Batman Arkham Origins and such, but I don't believe that he appears in this game. So it's cool that we actually get to see his kind of character design for this video game. So that's definitely kind of neat. And then you have a bunch of attributes for him, which are all fitting. Because again, Alfred gets a lot of stuff done for Batman. Next up, we have Aaron Cash right here, who is one of the most senior and respected guards at Arkham. He is got also an attributes panel that says he is got a lasting amity with Killer Croc, one of the most experienced guards at Arkham, great physical strength, excellent reflexes. Because I believe he loses his arm, right, to Killer Croc. There we go. Cash remains determined, however, to keep the asylum's inmates under control and to conquer his fears of Croc. Okay, very cool. I wonder, what was his first appearance, actually, in Arkham Asylum Living Hell in 2003. Interesting. So he was brought back, I guess, as a character there. Then we have Mr. Zsasz. I don't know why everyone needs to be so polite referring to him as Mr. Zsasz, but okay. It's Victor Zsasz, who appeared in The Shadow of the Bat also not that long ago. So again, another more of the recent Bat villains that we have gotten, even though it's obviously already decades long. But I'm just getting to the point of where it's like a lot of the other villains are like from the 60s and 40s and so on and so forth. Here are his attributes, and obviously there's some patient interviews for this character as well. Then we have Poison Ivy, aka Pamela Isley, right? Yeah, Pamela Isley, professional criminal. It seems like that's the occupation for most of those characters. And as I mentioned before, most of the Bat villains are decades and decades old because, as you can see, she first appeared in 1966 back in Batman 181. Here are the attributes for her, and obviously if you want to listen to the patient interviews, make sure you check out the interview tape video. Then we have Mr. Freeze, who a lot of us were really excited and hoping to see him in this game. We did not. However, he does make a huge appearance and an impactful appearance down the line in the other Arkham games, so stay tuned for that. Here are the facts for Dr. Freeze, aka Fries, and the attributes for him as well. Then we transition to the Scarecrow, who looks epic. I will say that I like the Scarecrow design in the game. I think it is very fitting to the Arkham mythos, but again, like I said before, just look at that character design there. That looks so epic. It's a lot more comic booky in its design, so I kind of wish that we would get this design for Jonathan Crane, but again, maybe that's just me. Here are his attributes, and obviously there's also more patient interviews with him as well. So it's almost like the main villains of the game got the interview tapes, and villains like, for example, Two-Face, he doesn't appear in the game, so because of that, he only gets the character bios and not the patient interviews. So speaking of which, here's Two-Face, looking very cool, and obviously we'll see in his actual appearances in the Arkham games, he'll look quite a bit different than what we see here. So again, this is where the art of the character bios and the actual characters are quite a bit different. Jack Ryder will be making an appearance in the early part of Arkham City, so stay tuned for that walkthrough as well, and he has appeared. Whoa, dude! Jack Ryder appeared in 1968. I did not know that. That's very cool. And there are some of the attributes for his character. Then we have Scarface. Gotham's Blackgate Penitentiary once had a gallows tree from which 313 criminals with death sentences were hanged. The wood from that tree was whittled by an inmate into the puppet Scarface. Holy moly, there's some extensive storyline for Scarface. I did not even know that. He's, once again, also a professional criminal. I love that they actually have a weight breakdown for him. 15 pounds. And he appeared in 1988 as well. So that's interesting there to see as well. So from there, we're going to go on ahead and transition to Hush, who has not appeared in the Arkham video games. At least, well, sorry, he has appeared, but not like... Well, actually, there was that one side quest, wasn't there, of Hush? So yeah, I'm kind of misremembering now. I'm like trying to remember, like, yeah, wait a minute, he did appear, didn't he, in some of the side quests, so to speak. So again, another pretty new Batman villain appeared in 2003 for the very first time in Batman 609. So very cool with the whole Hush storyline. So they're definitely really, really cool to see him get some attention here in this game. This character, I don't even know who he is. This is Maxie Zeus, and apparently he appeared in 1979. Wowzers, that's a hot minute ago. So interesting character, I guess. The fact that they actually included character bio for him is quite intriguing, and I do like that they actually picked some more obscure characters from the Bat universe as well. Speaking of which, Prometheus is another one of those. He's a dark reflection of Batman. Prometheus was raised by criminals who were gunned down by policemen right in front of him. Dedicating his life to destroying the law, Prometheus traveled the world and trained in the ways of murder. Clad in an armored suit and that maximizes his natural skills, he's a master assassin whose physical and mental abilities rival Batman's own. So he's kind of like the anti-Batman, so to speak. They don't know his real name. He only appeared in 1997, which is interesting. I've not heard anything about this character until this point. He doesn't make any further appearances, just like the previously seen character bio for Maxie Zeus. This is the only place where we kind of see him, is in these character bios. He doesn't appear in any like side quests or anything like that. Speaking of which, another character that doesn't appear in other components of the game is the Great White Shark, Warren White here. Who, again, looks pretty awesome. Kind of reminds me of, oh gosh, what's the villain from Spider-Man's world? Chameleon. Kind of looks a little bit like him, so kind of a mobster character there. Ra's al Ghul, of course, plays a huge factor in the Batman Arkham games, especially Batman Arkham City. So there we are with his details and then some of his attributes there. From there, we transition to the Mad Hatter, who will obviously make appearances down the line in Arkham games. Is it Jervis or Jarvis? I think it's Jervis Tatch. So there he is, appeared in 1948. How crazy is that? Wow, that's so crazy. And there are some of the attributes for this character. From there, we transition to Clayface, who obviously also will play a big factor in the Arkham City video game. Basil Carlo, and obviously there's different iterations of Clayface. And I think there's also Clay Thing that has been a character in the Batman and DC universe. So there's obviously different iterations and different people that have taken on the moniker of Clayface. Then we have Killer Moth, who doesn't make any major appearances, unfortunately, down the line, but they actually did do a pretty good job transitioning the ridiculous costume that Killer Moth has to look kind of realistic, more fitting into the Arkham universe. So I think that that's definitely pretty cool to see. Then we have the ventriloquist, who feels like he should be closer to Scarface there, no? It seems like it'd be a little bit more fitting, but there is the ventriloquist. Then we have Professor Hugo Strange, who looks, holy moly, dude. It's like this guy doesn't skip gym day ever, huh? Why is he so muscular? He's never this muscular in the Arkham, like the next Arkham video game, the Arkham City game. That's a little odd. Then we have the Ratcatcher, who again, I know nothing about. So it's interesting that we actually get another very obscure character here in Otis Flanagan. Interesting. He first appeared in 1988 in Detective Comics 585. Interesting. Then we have Humpty Dumpty, who again, don't know who that is either. And I thought I know quite a bit about Batman. This is another character that appeared in Arkham Asylum Living Hell, just like Aaron Cash back in 2003. So that's interesting. Then we have Tweedledee and Tweedledum, who are, I think, aren't they like goons that work with Joker, or are they teaming up with the model themselves after Tweedledee and Tweedledum? Oh, okay, maybe not. Maybe they work with Mad Hatter, it looks like, actually. This is Deaver and Dumfrey Tweed. I hope I'm saying their names correctly. And they appeared in 1943. Wow, so these are old characters. I guess no one's really done a lot of interesting thing with these characters since, so kind of surprising. Then we have Firefly, who obviously plays a big factor in the Arkham Knight video game and the Arkham Origins game, as well. Then we have some facts for this character as well as attributes. From there, we transition to the Black Mask. Speaking of Arkham Origins, he obviously makes an appearance in that title, and he was introduced in 1985, it looks like. And our two final character bios are going to be Calendar Man, who doesn't actually appear in the games, but he definitely is a repeat character that you interact with through different challenges and such, and riddles and trophies and so on and so forth. And wow, he was also introduced in 1958. That's surprising. There's Amadeus Arkham, who founded Arkham Asylum, so that's very cool that he's actually included in here as well. And then we have the Spirit of Arkham character also. So with that all in mind, there you guys have it. That is the complete character bio showcase for Batman Arkham Asylum. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what your favorite art design is out of all the ones that are available. I honestly think that Scarecrow is my favorite. I just really love that costume design, that they were able to kind of get something that's a little bit more realistic, Batman Arkham inspired, and then also still keep some of the comic book elements. I think it's just a really nicely cool designed costume for a very cool villain like Scarecrow. So nevertheless, thanks all for watching, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Check out all the other 100% completion videos that we have on the channel, like the interview tapes, like the Spirit of Arkham videos. Check those out as well. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below, and have an absolutely fantastic day. I'll see you later, alligators.